In England, he's described as the most influential man in amateur football.
Andy! Andy!
He's outspoken.
I don't like anything about them or their club. I want to steamroller them.
His methods are unconventional.
Get up! Get up! Get up, Yannick! Go on, Michael! Beat him! Beat him! Beat him!
His Brazilian football schools are expanding throughout the UK and beyond.
Just watch, stop, come back.
In 2003, he bought an amateur football club in Leeds, Garforth Town.
Don't have no glum faces that's going to go off and say, what's the point of training? No, he doesn't even use me.
In November, Brazilian legend Socrates turned out for his club.
Let's hope we win.
But just who is he? Simon Clifford has come a long way since his days as a schoolteacher. In 1996, he set up his first Brazilian soccer school, and today there are more than 600 of them worldwide. More on that later. Clifford's basic principle is that football should be entertaining. He dismisses the traditional notion that results mean everything and counters that his methods of coaching actually produce better results in the long run.
But I think that football needs turning upside down and pulling inside out. And I've started to do that and upset a few people, and I hope that I upset a few more because it needs it. I think there's more money in football and attention on football than any other sport, but I think the preparation and coaching and teaching falls far behind that of other sports. And I'd like to not only match that of other sports, but to go past it. And certainly in England, the coaching system is in need of a major overhaul.
Were you in the dentist?
I've been to the dentist.
Did they do a good job?
Yeah.
Brilliant.
Since watching the 1982 World Cup, Clifford has been captivated by Brazilian football. When he became a coach in 1990, he wanted to use Brazil and the country's coaching techniques as his inspiration. The 33-year-old is also a lifelong Middlesbrough fan. And when the club signed Juninho in 1995, Clifford seized the opportunity to try and discover the secrets of the beautiful game.
I'd been coaching for 4 or 5 years, and I met Juninho and became friends. And when he had a look at the coaching that children did in England, he was appalled, to be honest, both in terms of the content of the sessions and also in terms of the technique of the children. And he said a really big statement to me. He said, I think in Brazil, even the smallest street corner club has better training than even the biggest clubs in England, the Manchester United or the Arsenals. And at the time I thought, you know, what a load of rubbish, that's a really big thing to say. But it was only having spent time with him, we spent every evening together discussing, talking, planning, and going out to Brazil myself, that I saw what he'd said was true, and it was that really that sparked me.
After a trip to Brazil, Clifford brought back with him dozens of balls which are used in the game Futbol de Salao. They're a smaller size 2 ball with only 10% bounce, ideal for dribbling, and the theory goes that this kind of ball makes players more skillful. Training harder and for longer hours is also at the crux of Clifford's philosophy, which is producing results. Several of the school's graduates are already playing for England at junior level.
Well done, Dylan. We've done the Ronaldo, we've done the Emerson, we've done the Carlos. We're just going to do a move that Ronaldinho's famous for. I'm just going to do it nice and slow. 1, 2, 1, 2.
This is a fairly revolutionary idea, and it's not something that's done anywhere in the world at the minute, but I think football initially should be seen as an individual pursuit, much the same as learning an instrument, and get competence with the ball. Like the children today in the session behind us, they're working individually with the ball for 2 hours. Get competence before you go off and play with others. We're too quick to push children into playing in teams. Most coaching courses their starting point is 6 aside, and the starting point should be just 1 child and 1 ball.
With the money earned from his expanding soccer school empire, Clifford bought Garforth Town in June 2003. The side currently play in the Northern Counties East Division 1, 5 promotions away from the professional leagues. The plan is to use the schools as a feeder club for Garforth, and already several graduates play in the first team. His ambitious 20-year plan is to get the club into the Premiership.
If people say that's too ambitious, they would have had to have met me as a 26-year-old in 1996 when, with 4 children, my first soccer school session, when I said I'll have the biggest soccer schools in the world. I said that and 4 children turned up, but I still said the same, and I worked at it. And we've got 500,000 now, we're the biggest in the world, 500,000 children, 600 schools, and I think the step of getting this club up there is nothing compared to that which I've already taken.
And who would have believed the 50-year-old chain-smoking Brazil legend Socrates would come out of retirement to play for Garforth? In November last year, he did exactly that. It was one of the most bizarre publicity stunts football has ever seen, but it had the desired effect. The world's press took notice, and half of them, it seemed, descended on Garforth's Marston Stadium. Clifford's methods are far from orthodox, but he's certainly creating a stir in West Yorkshire. Garforth are second in the league with 10 games to go, and the fans are well and truly behind his grand plan.
You've got to start somewhere, haven't you? And it's great to have ambition. I would hope he can get them as far as he can. Whether he'll get them into Premiership, who knows?
Why not? It's happened to Wimbledon. It's happened to clubs that you would never have expected it to happen to, so why not Garforth?
Socrates played 12 minutes in Garforth's 2-2 draw against Tadcaster. His contribution was minimal, but the media exposure for Clifford's soccer schools and Garforth Town was worth more than the Brazilians' weight in cigarettes. Clifford is hoping to bring more Brazilians over in the future. Next up, Romario.
My God, it was freezing. I'm certainly not used to that, and I felt terrible when I first started. I had a headache, and I never get those. But it was fun, and I was glad to take part.
Socrates will be thankful his appearance was only a one-off. Simon Clifford is a hard taskmaster.
We'll be here all day if you don't move.
He's ambitious, ruthless even, but he seems to be going places. One suspects in the years to come we'll be hearing a lot more about him, his club and his soccer schools.
16. Was it hard? All right, good.